What's up, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Charm City Heavyweights Podcast, brought to you by the great folks in Great H Sports Memorabilia in Parkville, Maryland. I'm the host, Matt Trigger. With me, as always, is my co-host, Josh Merrill. Josh, what is going on, my man?
What's up, Matt? Coming live from the man cave. And been thinking all day what I want to say, man. And before I say it, and I know our podcast gets shared a lot, especially like on Twitter and stuff. So people are going to see it. And before trolls want to comment or people say anything stupid, let me explain something real quick. Uh, I love this team with everything I have. Right? I give them everything. I've never missed a game. I've never missed a play. I know they're not going to win every game. I know they're not going to win the Super Bowl every year, and that's fine. I accept that. Okay, if we would have went into Pittsburgh yesterday and the Steelers just fucked us up 40-0, just dominated the game, like I can live with that. Okay, they caught us off guard. It was just a bad day, whatever. But to have two games, okay, to have two games that we should be undefeated very easily, and it's the same story every year. And it's been going on for a really long time now. It's been going on since 2013 after the Super Bowl, whatever year. It's been going on for a decade almost. We're asking the same questions with the clock. Communication issue. If communication's an issue, then we need to hire like a communication specialist. Like you see all these dumb fucking names, job titles the NFL has on these teams, like a spiritual leader and all this crazy shit. And like get a communications guy then to help better communicate because you're in a crucial game situation and the center actually thinks there's a scenario where he's going to snap the ball. and and it's insane. I never seen anything like this. The Indianapolis game with the mismanagement of the clock, we had the game fucking won, and we didn't run the clock out. Like how is this happening to someone who has been a head coach in this league for a very long time? The next person
This,
I want to talk to about real quick, man, I'm sorry,
no
is
problem.
Rashad Bateman. Just give me a second here. Rashad Bateman, you've talked a lot of shit, man. You've done a lot of shit. You said a lot of shit. You've been a brat. But you're soft as applesauce, bro. You fucking touch every time you get touched or you jump, you're hurt. You dropped a ball right in your fucking hands. Okay? The next thing, real quick, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Zay Flowers. This was game what? 5 or 6, Matt?
That was game five.
Game 5. How is he still lining up wrong? I know he's made big plays. I'm not saying anything bad about his future. I still think he's going to be the man. I understand wide receivers a hard position, but how the fuck is he still lining up wrong? How the fuck does he still not know what's going on? Guys, if you don't have the film study apps or whatever, just YouTube it and watch. Like he is going over to Zay Flowers almost every play and pointing somewhere like he did something wrong. All the
It,
drops yesterday, I'm mad at Lamar for the pick in the end zone, and I'm mad at him for not being able to feel pressure in the pocket, not understanding how to climb a pocket. And that is things we have been concerned with from the jump street, man. That's things we've been concerned with from the beginning with him. That sack yesterday with Watt was avoidable. The sack fumble, whatever, it was avoidable. There was room to climb up the pocket, into the pocket, and he didn't because he didn't feel it. And good quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, Brady, Manning, Johnny Unitas, whoever you want to know how to climb the pocket. And he cannot sense it. He doesn't feel it. Go ahead.
everything that you have talked about for the last 4 minutes is coaching oriented. The mismanagement of the clock, guys not lining up properly, lack of awareness on whether or not to snap the ball in that crucial situation. Your quarterback not knowing that you have a timeout, you not using the timeout that you know that you have on the board. It is all boiling down to coaching. And like you alluded to a couple minutes ago, this is the same bullshit over and over again. The only
And then
difference, let me hold on. The only
yeah,
difference now is that Harbaugh doesn't have the caliber of players on the field to realize that shit in real time the way he did in his first 6 or 7 years, where you had Ed Reed, you had Ray Lewis, you had Terrell Suggs and Haloti Nada and Marshall Yanda on the field. You had all these guys on the field that knew what was going on 100% of the time. Joe Flacco might not have been the greatest quarterback in the world, but he had awareness. He had pocket awareness. He had game awareness. He had game management skills
if he
down
didn't
to a
have
T.
pocket awareness, we don't win the Super Bowl because he doesn't throw the mile high miracle. He climbed the pocket before he launched.
Correct. But the thing is, now you don't have the players on the field that can cover for your mistakes in the coaching realm. I can go a whole episode talking about Harbaugh's unwillingness to put coaches on this staff that are a threat to his job. We've talked about that for over a year in the off season, where he's never had anybody on his staff that has been remotely a threat to his head coaching existence here, other than Gary Kubiak. And Kubiak got a head coaching job and won the Super Bowl the following year after he left as offensive coordinator. So this is the result of a lot of things. I don't know if his message is falling on deaf ears. I'm not saying that we're at that part of our season where his message is losing touch, but there is a clear lack of preparation somewhere in that building up there.
We weren't ready
The
to play. Matt,
same
look at the drops,
mistakes.
dude. We're talking about beautiful dime throws on the money.
And the thing
drops.
is, I'm trying not to blame Lamar for that, because at the end of the day, Lamar can only throw the ball. He's not out
Should
there
have threw
catching
for
the ball.
331, 3 touchdowns.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. And I was looking at the highlights earlier on YouTube. 8 drops, 4 in the end zone. And then if you want to go 9 is when Zay fell with that clear, beautiful deep ball that Lamar threw, and he stumbled and looked up at it at the sky like this. So if you want to go with almost 10 plays where there should have been a catch, this is a whole different ball game. We're not talking about a 17-10 loss to an inferior team. This is a lot of different things, and it's so frustrating that you can't put your finger on one thing. But I'm tired of talking about these brutal losses, and it's not being addressed to the man in charge.
It's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable. But the thing is, people want to, and the thing is, Harbaugh's not out there playing. I get it, and I said that yesterday in a social media post or earlier today. I wanted to drum up some interest for this show. I understand Harbaugh isn't out there on the field, but he is the one that is leading this team 24/7. So now you got to go into London to play Tennessee, and this is a must-win game, or you go 3-3, and then you got Murderers Row coming up. This is a must-win game already.
I got news for everybody. Listen, real quick, let me get this out. Listen, it just came out today. As going forward, and I've been saying this all year long on this show, we now have the second toughest schedule in the NFL going forward. So,
yeah,
we needed these 2 games, man. These 2 games, I just hope and pray they're not going to come back and bite us on the ass.
We're going to be seeing Detroit, San Francisco.
Right after London.
Right after London.
Nice.
Seattle.
Because we opted out of the bye. We have a very late bye. We did.
We have I think our bye is week 13 this year. But we have to see Seattle. We have to see the Los Angeles Rams with Cooper Kupp back. We have to see, our division once over again. We got to see we got to see Jacksonville. That this is not going to be easy for us. And the fact that we're now going into London 3-2 when we should be 4-1 at worst, 5-0 if you want to be technical, just based
Oh, it's
on
5-0.
it's 5.
Dude,
Okay,
we
it's
kneel the
5-0.
ball against Indy. We win the fucking game. Does people not realize that?
People do realize
We didn't
that,
kneel the ball. You kneel the ball and we win that game. Like, what the fuck,
but
dude?
the thing is,
I'm not saying he needs to be
the
fired,
drop-
but he needs to
the
be. His
drops
seat
are-
needs to be warmed up.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not calling for the man to be fired, but he has been infallible for the last 5 years. And let's just call it how we see it, because it's the goddamn truth. If Joe Flacco doesn't get hurt in 2018, he gets fired. If Flacco
Absolutely.
plays that whole year and Lamar doesn't do what Lamar does in the second half of 2018, we're not having this conversation. Lamar saved this man's job based on what he was able to do for a season and a half. The half of 2018, all of 2019. And Harbaugh seems like he's gotten a mulligan all over again because we've been a fringe playoff team. This organization claims that they want to win, but right now what we're getting is pure, unadulterated mediocrity across the board.
Yeah, and the lack of pass rush yesterday.
I don't care about the lack of pass rush. We could have gotten through that by
Oh, I
stopping
know.
them.
I know.
We dropped 28 points. We dropped 28 points.
We did.
If you add 28 to our score, we put up almost 40 on them. They could have scored 17. It would have been 40-17.
Yeah, it should have been a blowout, no doubt.
It should have been.
Right,
It should have
it
been a
killed
fucking. We should have kicked
It
their
killed it.
asses up and down that field all fucking day.
Flowers,
didn't do
Bateman, Bateman, Aguilar, what's
Odell.
his face?
Odell.
I hope they Odell. I hope they
let me talk about Odell
for.
Let's talk about Odell for a second. I was happy Odell came. I was happy that he got here. Did we pay him a lot of money? Yes, we did. But it seems like every time this man touches the football, he gets hurt. He got hurt in Cincinnati when he caught the ball and ran. He got hurt on almost the exact same type of play against Pittsburgh. Now, granted, he came back into the game, but why are all these wide receivers that fucking fragile? I'm tired of it. You're trotting out Nelson Aguilar and Devin Duvernay as your wide receiver 2 and 3. You've automatically crowned Zay as your 1, and Zay had 3 drops yesterday and a concentration drop at that, where he didn't not concentration, but a concentration mishap where if he stays on his goddamn feet, Josh, it's a touchdown.
He walks in.
What?
Dude, he doesn't know where to line up.
To 6 yards of separation. That's the thing.
He doesn't know where to line up.
That's the thing I was saying earlier in the year. I'm not saying, I told you so, because I love the Zay draft pick. But it's a lot different in college when you can just be the best athletically gifted player on the field and go out there and do what you do. This is not that case. These are NFL players. They're smart. They know what they're doing, and they're just as athletic as you, if not more. So the blame is going around to everybody. The defense, they did all they could, and
What about special teams?
Special teams, okay, I get it. There was a block punt. We get one of those a year, dude. It seems like we always do, and it just happens.
Okay, we had special team mishap in Indy too. Barblaze was talking about it a lot today. You had a good point about it.
I have not listened to any sports talk radio since the game was over. I can't do it. I don't have it in me. The defense gave up 1 touchdown.
Marlon Humphrey got burned.
But the thing is, we're talking about Marlon Humphrey getting burned. People are forgetting that this man just made his season debut that game.
I don't like the play call. I don't think we needed to blitz. I mean, there was one guy on Pittsburgh making plays. That's my issue with I don't understand why we went cover 0 that play.
I hear you.
It makes no fucking sense.
I hear you. But the defense was put in terrible predicaments all game long.
Yeah, but still.
And they did not play as bad as I expected.
I don't think they played bad. I'm not.
No, I'm saying
but there is one thing I'd like to talk about and say. Marcus Williams, man,
He has no
I can't
business
wait
being
for the
out
tape.
there.
Yeah, I
He
can't wait for the tape to come out. But
get
on
the fucking
TV, I'm
surgery.
gonna say this now. Yeah, hold on now. On TV, he's tackling with one fucking arm. There's no way he's better than Geno Stone or whoever you're going. There's no way he's tackling with
Geno
one arm.
Stone with 2 interceptions.
Exactly. So come
That's
on.
a
I
good
mean,
run
he
contributor.
shouldn't be out there. It's not. It's not.
There,
He can't play with one fucking arm, dude. Come
he's
on.
go get the
He's a
fucking
hard
surgery.
hitting safety. Yeah,
He's
like go get
and
the
you
surgery and
can't
get
hit.
healthy.
He can't hit
Okay.
right now. He
No,
can't feel half
no.
his chest.
No, he was trying to tackle with one arm.
He can't. It's impossible. It is absolutely 100% impossible right now.
He's going to end up getting another injury in his other arm, trying to use that for everything.
And you know what? Just go get the surgery and just be done with it. I know we're paying you $14 million a year, but I'd rather have Geno out there who's guaranteed to play coverage, who has full dexterity and range of motion in both of his shoulders, and can give us a little something.
Yeah, I like Geno. He makes plays, man.
And then the one thing I will say about Lamar Jackson, I'm circling back to the offense because that's where a majority of the issues about this game were, Josh. Like you said, Lamar has no pocket awareness. He has no sense that pressure is coming. And with your offensive line being as shitty as it has been for majority of the games this year, that's unacceptable. You need to hold that ball high and tight. Every fucking time I see a defender come around for a sack, I pray to God this guy doesn't drop the ball because he holds it down near his waist.
He does.
That's coaching, though. That's coaching and not holding him accountable for shitty mechanics. I've never been a quarterback playing in a game in my entire life with pads on. I'll be the first to admit it. But I've been around coaching. I've been a player. I might not have been at that point, but that shit is fundamentals at the lowest level of football that you can possibly go. And then throwing the fucking outside fade to Odell Beckham Jr. Now, here's the thing. Odell was fighting for separation from Joey Porter Jr. You throw that ball on the outside shoulder, and it's a worse than incomplete pass.
That's what you do, yeah. He catches it or no one does.
Yeah, it's a Odell or nobody throw. And then
it's an option route, man.
What happened right there is you get the punt fumble, you're driving down the field running the goddamn football, and then what do? You try to throw a touchdown pass. Run the fucking ball. They weren't stopping Gus on the trap. They weren't stopping Justice Hill on the same trap run. Or here's a novel idea. Do what you've been doing the last 3 fucking weeks and run a quarterback power. Run the option.
I didn't understand why we didn't do that in the red zone. Why didn't we try?
I'm screaming at the TV yesterday. Run the ball. Run the ball. Now you want to get cute and throw fades.
But I'm not going to pick Moncton apart because if them guys try to catch the ball, we're not mad at him at all.
But that is a terrible throw. 2 mistakes Lamar Jackson made yesterday was the fumble and the interception. The man has a turnover every single game, whether it's a fumble or a bad throw. And it seems like right now he cannot beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, he's usually hurt when we play him. He's only played him a few times.
I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. It might be, but
he's played him 3 times, bro.
But why is he 1-5 against them?
Well, I don't know. Who knows?
And what's crazy is that they did nothing to prepare for TJ Watt. It seems like because he's silent most of the game, and then on the last drive of the game.
But wait a minute now. The line was fine until McCary went out and Falele came in. The line was fine. I mean, Watt wasn't doing much.
You have a fullback that you are paying $4 million to help block in that situation. If you know your starting right tackle is hurt and you got a second-year player in there, Josh, you do what you got to do and you give him help. Okay, you're taking a wide receiver off the field. They're dropping the fucking ball anyway. So why don't you just give Lamar an extra second to get the ball down the goddamn field?
Justice Hill. I want to talk about Justice Hill real quick.
Talk about him.
dude, like he kills. The kid has so much talent, man. But he does this to himself every time. I start to get like, damn, this guy can really play, man. Like he should be the starter. He fucking fumbles, and that's 2 games with it happened in both losses. It was Drake who fumbled, and then our momentum never gets back to being where it was before that. We were moving the ball with ease. Lamar was picking them apart. We're running the ball well. We're pushing them around. They're not pushing us around. And then it's like he fumbles, and it's like one thing after another. I even looked at my dad the beginning of the fourth quarter. I was like, this isn't good. I was like, this is what happens when we lose. We're letting them hang around too long, and that's what we do. And that's what they do. They steal the game in the fucking end. They've done it to us so many times, the Steelers have. And it's just frustrating, man, because you can see it coming, and the mistakes that are made happen over and over again. And then it's the same thing, when is he going to be held accountable? Because it's at the press conference, oh, yeah, we're going to tighten those things up. And no, you're not, because it's still happening. Like, why
It's a
should there have
fucking
been any option? Yes. So the center thought a flag was thrown. No, the center should know you're not snapping that fucking ball,
don't
man.
snap the fucking ball.
Yeah. Who
You-
told him this? Who gave him the snap tap?
Stop that for a second. Hold on.
Did Zeitler give him the snap tap?
I don't recall, but here's the thing. This is not like it was Sam Mustipher or Tristan Colon from last year or whoever the fuck. It's a first round draft pick, one of the smartest IQ offensive linemen from the goddamn draft. And you're telling me he didn't have awareness? I understand making a mistake. We all make mistakes. But the thing is, that is the difference between going up 10 before halftime and going up a touchdown and then coming out and completely flat. They made no adjustments. That's why I'm putting a lot of this on Harbaugh. And the thing is, a lot of people are going to defend him. And as much as I want to defend him, this shit has happened continuously for what seems like
But you know
10
what,
years.
dude? You know what, though? I tell people, yeah, I like Harbaugh. I do. But I love this fucking team more than anything, outside of my children.
He's leading this
yes,
team.
I know. So, and exactly, but I'm saying I love the team more than I love him. And yes, I do believe in coaching and out in real life in the, managerial world. Leadership should change every 4 to 5 years because it does. It gets stale. It gets old. It's the same message. It gets stale. It gets old, and maybe it is getting, I don't know. I don't know if it's time for him to go. All I know is that the things that have been happening, he needs to be held accountable. His seat needs to at least warm up. It's like yesterday, like I said in the beginning, it was not acceptable. The mistakes that have been made is not acceptable. If you have any doubt, you see there's commotion, just use the fucking timeout. Call timeout. Why don't, what do you need it for? Just take the timeout, get on the same page, don't snap the fucking ball.
I have a problem with one thing you said. With one thing you said, Josh. You don't know whether or not Harbaugh needs to go. If the season continues at the rate it's going, because now you can look back, hindsight 2020, on the first quarter of the season. We have lost 2 games we had no business losing, and both of them were filled with mental errors, inexcusable clock management, and game management by the head coach. So, yeah, okay. The roster that's constructed, even if it's 85% healthy, I'm not even including J.K. Dobbins, but if you get everybody back that's supposed to be your starters and your key contributors, if he has another season like last year or 2021, there is no goddamn reason in the world that he doesn't need to pack his shit and go.
Yeah, but we don't know that yet. We don't know.
We don't know that, but the thing is, this is becoming too much of a theme. And he says a whole lot of bullshit at that podium every week without
it's been
saying
going on
nothing.
For years, man.
Without saying nothing at all. The man is the master of coach speak. He does not say anything of substance, and it's all motivational quotes and hyperbole and bullshit. It's all bullshit at this point.
He's giddy
You
when
can't-
they win and down when they lose. Like when they win, he's giddy as shit. Oh, our guys
Yeah.
are tough, and they fight
Yeah.
hard and they practice
course.
hard. And
Okay,
Yeah.
the 3 wins we have this year: Cincinnati when they were down, a rookie Texans quarterback, and a rookie Cleveland quarterback that had no business being on that field. And then you got the Indianapolis Colts that came into our house and punched us in the mouth. And then you have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They could be 0-14, but when Baltimore comes to town, you would think that they're Super Bowl contenders. Those motherfuckers never laid down to us ever.
never.
They're not going to roll over and die.
And we
That
don't
is-
to them, and we don't to
and
them. It's the great
we
thing
rolled
about the
over and
rivalry.
died yesterday. We rolled over
Eh,
yesterday.
I
Josh,
don't know if I'd say that.
Josh, come on.
I don't know if I'd say that.
They played, the offense played with no heart. You go out there to arguably much better defense last week, and you impose your will from the first snap to the last snap of the game.
They didn't catch
They
the ball,
should have
man.
had
The drops are the story of the game. They didn't catch the ball.
But what is why do you deviate from what was working the last 2 games?
I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know.
You're going against a shittier defense that can't stop the run, and you want to throw the ball 25 times in the first half. 25 times. Come on. That is the exact opposite. That is coaching. That's not the players. Lamar threw the ball maybe 25 times all of the Cleveland game, and he matched that total before halftime in Pittsburgh, and you're winning. How are you winning and you're throwing the ball 25 times in the first half? You would think we're playing catch up, and we weren't. We got cute, and you wanted to open up this offense. Fucking do what's working. Let Gus and Justice Hill and Melvin Gordon run. Let them go, especially when you have a mix of offensive linemen where McCary's going from left to right, or you got to bring in Falele. Whatever. Run the ball. You were running the ball on them perfectly fine, and then you want to feed all these wide receivers that are coming back, and look what the fuck happens. You got 9 fucking drops yesterday, and an interception, and a fumble in the pocket, because you want to have your quarterback, who should only be throwing probably 20 to 25 times a game, throwing what did he throw? 40, 41 passes yesterday? If not more.
Quite a bit.
And for what?
Quite a bit.
We were winning until the last drive of the game. That doesn't make any sense to me. So that is coaching. That's why I'm upset about it. I know the players are out there dropping the ball. I know that's what they're doing. I know Marlon got cooked on an outside route. I get it.
I blame I blame Mike McDonald for that one. I'm sorry.
But again, coaching.
It's a bad play call.
Coaching.
It's a bad play call.
Coaching.
You weren't in cover 0 all game. Like
all
he has one
game.
weapon, one guy making catches. Like, come on.
But
there's just no need to take that chance.
We talked about this on the preview show. Even Daniel Wilcox said that to us in the show. Go with what is working. Run the ball down their throats. That's how you mitigate TJ Watt. You run the ball. You run the ball at him, or you run the ball at the middle. And they had that dude Ogunjobi did nothing yesterday. They had no Cam Hayward. You let these outside linebackers look like they're all world athletes because you dropped back 40 fucking times. Come on. Like, this is crazy to me. I get it. The drops cause us to not have points. But in the same breath, why are you throwing that much when you can run the ball with a lead? That is what you do in football. If you got the lead, you run the ball. Bleed the clock and wear the defense down. We did this shit last week. We did this shit in week 1. We did it against the Cincinnati Bengals. How did we win that Bengals game? Lamar Jackson running the ball the entire last drive, mixed in with a little bit of Gus. We wanted to get cute in Pittsburgh with a clearly lesser team. And this is the end result. We're sitting here 24, 48 hours later, still pissed off.
I'm gonna be pissed off till they win again.
And then
if they go into London and get
where
smoked, I'm gonna have a fucking conniption. Do we got Titans dudes or no?
I haven't even thought about finding anybody for the Titans. We'll find somebody. I always do. But the thing is, now we got to go into London. The last time we were in London, we got smoked. I
Yes,
still have
indeed.
PTSD from that Jaguars game.
Mercedes, what was that tight end's name? Mercedes Lewis, 100 years old. He had like fucking 3 touchdowns, that fucker.
And then
the game
on
of
top
his
of that,
life
Derrick Henry is up and down, but there's nobody in that secondary that's going to smack him. We don't got Deshaun Elliott back there. I know we got Roquan, but
Sean Elliott's on the fucking Titans.
No, he's on the Dolphins. He's on the Miami Dolphins. But
was he on the Titans before?
No, he was
Never?
on the Lions. He was on the Lions last year, not the Titans. But this is not a good situation, my man.
It's not. The schedule's tough, bro. It's the Titans
schedule
in
doesn't
London,
get easier,
Detroit.
and this is
a little bit of San Fran.
I hate the fact that it's week 5, and you're already talking about how many more games you can possibly lose and still make the playoffs. We're gonna get smoked if we got to see Miami this year, I think.
Yeah, we play Miami.
Yeah,
at the end, somewhere in the end.
So let's just pray to God they don't put up 70 on us.
Dude, look it up. 70. I mean, look at this. Damn, man, you threw me off guard with the 70 comment. We are right as of right now. We are the second toughest schedule in the National Football League. You can Google it. You can search it. You can Siri it. You can fucking Alexa it. You can do whatever you need to do. But that is the case, my friend. And that's no joke.
And I want to talk about
we
something
needed
else.
These 2 wins. These 2 stupid losses could not have happened. It's going to fuck us in the end. I can feel it. I can feel it in my soul.
It is obvious that Harbaugh doesn't trust Tucker right now either.
What the fuck would make you say that?
How many times have you seen him kick a field goal the last couple of weeks? Since those misses. He missed a 67-yarder and he missed a 61-yarder against Indy.
But when were we when was the time to kick? Like yesterday,
the halftime, before halftime. What do you mean? When was?
But it wasn't 4th down yet.
We had like 10 seconds on the fucking clock. You don't need to be on 4th down to kick it with that much time left.
Yeah, but come on, that's how they do it, and then run the clock down. I mean, I guess they wanted to get a few more yards. I mean, it would have been a long kick, man. They were trying to get 7, 8 more yards.
It would have been an under 50-yard kick.
Oh no!
Come on, it just seems like there's a lot going on where Harbaugh is flustered. I'm sick of not talking about it. I'm sick of giving him the benefit of the doubt. He's been our coach for 15 goddamn years, and
he's been a coach for a long time, man.
And as much as I've loved Harbaugh over the years, that Super Bowl is 11 years ago.
Yeah,
Josh, we were in our 20s our early 20s when we won a Super Bowl. Yeah. I'm at a loss.
Dude, I mean, the only thing I can say, my advice to people that are down and out like we are is the good thing about the NFL is, they play next week, and if they win, we'll all be on a high again. But I agree, man. I like I said, I'm not gonna say I'd like to see him fired just yet. But I would like to see him put under a little bit of pressure, maybe, to figure some things out. Like with his clock management, even if he has to hire like a clock management coach.
But the thing is, you're the head coach. That is something that needs to be built into your persona.
Well, obviously it ain't into his
if you,
persona because he don't do it
he's
right.
been a head coach since 2008, Josh.
Well,
It
it
is
ain't in his
almost
persona then, obviously. He needs to hire someone to tell him what to do.
But if you're going to hire somebody to tell him what to do, you might as well hire that person to do it all.
I'm just talking about that aspect of the game, like the clock management part. Like, hey, you know, should we just kneel it here? Or because obviously somebody in his ear he's got people in his ear. He can talk to all kinds of different people in his ear up in the booth. Like somebody's not giving him the right info or he's not processing it right or like what? Because the NFL, I mean, you got a little bit of time to make decisions. It's not really rushed. Unless it's like a play you want to challenge and the other team's rushing on the field, but you can always call a timeout, whatever. You have time, TV timeouts, all kinds of shit, you know. So somebody in his ear is giving him the wrong info, and he's not smart enough to realize like, oh, that's stupid. Because like I said,
that's a problem.
You can go on the NFL 22, go on YouTube, do whatever you need to do the math in that indie game with the clock, us where we were on the field, possession. We could have nailed the ball down. And at worst, I believe we could have punted it back to them with 2 seconds left. They could have, covered a kick and we're good. So that pisses me off that he didn't realize that. And that's a big fucking deal, man. And no one's talking about it. And it's true. And look, Matt, we gotta shut this down. We gotta move on. Because this loss is hurting me too much, and I just want to get it out of me. I want to start being happy again and seeing Roquan over in London and Lamar over there drinking tea and shit with the Queen. I want to laugh again. I want to see all the funny Lamar memes and enjoy life. And
they better fucking win.
They gotta win. Hey, whoa! We got a show for that. That is the pre-show.
I am well aware of that. But let's just call it how we see it.
Oh, it's a must win. It's a playoff game.
You come back stateside 3-3, and you got Detroit and San Fran. We might be going into December with a losing record, my man. That's not because San Francisco's the best team in football. I don't care what anybody.
Wait a minute now. That's in San Fran.
Yeah,
we're going
into San Francisco, and they're fucking rolling. There's nobody on this team that can guard.
Oh,
McCaffrey.
They're built beautifully. Oh my God, they're like a beautiful thing, man. Like I gotta talk. I'm all Ravens. Fuck the 49ers, but they are built like, like a dream. They can do everything, and now they got their quarterback, and he's young, not making no money.
And they got another pass rusher for a box of fucking wrist tape from the Denver Broncos.
How do they get all these dudes, man? Like for nothing.
Randy Gregory is a new defensive end for them to bookend Nick Bosa. It's incredible. That front seven is a monster, and they are going to give us fits. I'm not even.
Should we just give them the Lombardi now?
I'm just saying it's going to be. They'll probably be playing in February, and that's a terrifying thing. I know that we got to do the we got a pre-show coming up for Tennessee on Thursday. We'll be doing another giveaway. Our sponsor, Chris, he gave us 2 tickets to the Taylor Swift era movie brunch and movie screening at New Horizons in Bel Air this coming weekend. So got to give those away on Thursday night. So we'll be doing that. And I want to congratulate our winner, Chris Horton, for the Marshall Yonda giveaway. We'll be having more things coming up soon with our sponsors, but this is.
Hey, Chris, I mean, you could have gave them tickets. I mean, me and Matt both got young children, daughters that would have probably liked that. But I'm not being ungrateful or anything, but it's just a little disappointing.
But hey, it's one of those things where
don't be out.
And the thing is, I don't even want to talk about the other Baltimore team right now because that made me infuriated. It infuriated me yesterday.
But hey, real quick, before we shut this down, real quick, about the Orioles, real quick. I hate to say it, and listen, I love the Orioles as much as anyone, but this is what I was saying on our Orioles shows all season. Like, we may be built to win a lot, but are we going to be built in October? And we're not. I'm sorry. I'm not saying we can't come back and win this series, but our pitching, it shows, man. Like when we got guys we
Don't we
signed
have
off the
Montgomery and
street.
Scherzer in Texas?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So I mean, the odds
if
are
we
not
get
good.
if we get out of Texas, it's a fucking miracle.
Yeah, the odds aren't good. So you go down 2 in a series, man. It's only a few teams who have come back from astronomical odds
I hope
to
that I hope this
accomplish
team I
such a
hope this
feat.
team I hope this team does something, but barring how tomorrow night goes, we might have
Our inexperience in the playoffs, lack of depth in the bullpen. We got guys that we got off waivers versus guys Texas went out and made a big push to get some guys to make a playoff run, and it seems to be working because they're hot. Their pitching looks good. Their bats are good. I thought we could have won game one. It's another story. I don't even want to get into all that. I thought some coaching cost us that game. But I think our inexperience and lack of depth has shown tremendously. And that has been my fear. That's why, man, I was trying so much to enjoy, all the wins, winning the East. Like because I like almost in the back of my mind, I knew like we're not built for that yet. Like we're not there yet. Like we don't have that ace. We don't have that solid lefty, maybe even a really good righty. And we don't have that yet in the bullpen. We just don't have that yet. And I feel like that's all we're missing. And that's all the Orioles really need to do this offseason, right? Is add some pitchers. Like everything else is fine. We're so deep in the minors. We don't need any big free agent field players. We really don't. I mean, we can like what? Like what do you want to do? Come on.
Another first baseman, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that out of O'Hearn again. I wouldn't try to bet on him having a magical season like that again.
Where you bat 300 and pinch hit and it's a home run or bust. I get it, but let's wrap this up. We'll be back on Thursday night with our Tennessee Titans preview show for the London game.
Tennessee Titans.
9:30 in the morning, so we get to have breakfast and watch the.
We're gonna have we're having a breakfast party at the Cape.
Sounds good. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, my man. Go ahead and close it down.
All right, guys. I don't like these London games, but London is the motherland. But that was weird, man. Why did I say that?
I mean, that's Patterson education.
Yeah,
Patterson education for
you. Shut up. Oh gosh. All right, man. Everybody, watch a little bit of Monday Night Football. Relax. Let's just let this go. We gave it to them. Pittsburgh's. They suck. They stink. Their uniforms are ugly. Their alternate uniforms are ugly. Everything about them's ugly. Their Lombardis are ugly. They ain't won a Lombardi in 100 years. Fuck them. Let's just let it go. Let's beat the shit out of Titans. Come back. I like you, Dan Campbell, but now you're the effing enemy, and I want to kill you and destroy your team. Let's run through them. Let's get this Super Bowl run going. Mark Andrews said yesterday, he was like, it's like we're a sleeping giant, and we're just not clicking right now.
I don't want to hear shit he has to say. He dropped 3 fucking passes yesterday. Fuck him, too.
Hey, come on now. He made some plays, too. And he's allowed to have a fucking bad game once in a while, Matt. How many times has he had fucking 9 catches, 160 yards, where he was getting a lot of yak and getting hit hard all fucking game? Come on now. Don't do him dirty like that.
Fucking years ago?
No, that was a couple games ago.
Wrap this show because I'm going to get into a fucking rant about him, too.
All right. Let's shut it down for Matt starts talking again.